Sandbox MMA fans, we are back with another UFC card this weekend. UFC Denver, get excited. Just kidding, the card is shit. And next week's card's even worse. Debating even doing a predictions video for that because of how bad the fucking card is. Dana just decided to mail it in. UFC is in Denver this weekend. They're going to be in front of a crowd, and he just said, fuck it, I don't really care about filling out the stadium at this point. I guess Denver just takes the hit here. Like, it is what it is. I am 173 and 100 on predictions, so I did have a rough UFC 303 going 7-6. Again, overall record 173 and 100, 63.3%. So I'm dropping. Tough week last week. Excuse me. This is a tough card to predict. A lot of coin flips, but we're gonna get it started. Early prelim, all the way to the final fight on the card, the main event. Yeah, I think I can do pretty well on this card. I saw a lot of picks here that are kind of upsets or kind of counteracting a lot of what the MMA predictors on YouTube are doing. I just got different logic for it. But starting with the first fight, I think this got moved to the early prelim opener. I don't know why this isn't on the main card, because this is actually one of the most enticing fights on the whole card. You got Montel Jackson versus Damon Blackshear, two outside the top 15, very skilled bantamweights. Montel Jackson, 13-2, tall, lanky, really powerful, good striker. He can wrestle as well, but his jiu-jitsu game's not as good. I just want to break down a couple of his recent wins as well. I believe it's been a while since he stepped in the octagon. April of 2023, so it has been over a year. Don't love that when I see it out of a 31-year-old, and he's coming off of a bunch of consecutive wins, too. So he beat JP Bays, couldn't finish him, questionable, but couldn't finish him. That was on Smith versus Span 1. Julio Arce, he decisioned as well. Again, decent fighter, nothing too crazy. And then he knocked out Ronnie Yaya in the first round, which is what I like to see. I think it was Pavlovich versus Blades. Coming off a 4-fight win streak right now. He's hot, but he hasn't fought in a while. I think there's going to be some rust going into that cage. And I think Damon Blackshear, while he hasn't fought since August of last year, he fought better competition. It's still 4 months more recent. And when he fought in August last year, it was a week after he got a twister submission. So let's go back to who he twistered. I forget the name. So he twistered Jose Johnson, who's a good fighter. He's a pretty skilled, talented fighter. And then he lost a unanimous decision to Mario Batista that I honestly thought he won. I bet on Mario Batista, and I thought Damon Blackshear won that fight clearly. The O'Malley card, I was in there watching it live, came back to watch it at home later. Or the next day, because it was 2:30 in the morning, I think I went to Encore and blew a bunch of money, but Damon Blackshear, I thought, won that fight. I think his grappling's really good. I think his striking's pretty good as well, and hanging in there with Mario Batista does a lot for me. Plus 130 as an underdog. Dude, I'm going Damon Blackshear. I think he's going to win this fight. I think he's going to win 27 unanimous decision, possibly a submission, but I do think Montel Jackson's going to be hard to submit. I'm going Damon Blackshear to win a unanimous decision 30-27. Josh Friend versus Andre Petroski. I'm picking Josh Friend. I really am. I'm seeing a lot of people pick Petroski, and I get it, like he was supposed to be good, but when you look at this, he's low-key 9-5. Because I think he lost a Mearshot on the same card that Blackshear lost to Batista. I look at Andre Petroski's two recent losses. He dove for a headbutt and got knocked out. He dove for a takedown, hit his head off of Jacob Malkoon's hip, and got knocked out. Okay, alarming. And then he got knocked out by the first punch he took to the head against Michel Pereira. He throws a 1-2 down the middle, blocks the jab, the 2 comes right through, sits down Petroski. Now again, Michel Pereira has crazy power, crazy explosivity. Andre Petroski hasn't been looking that good, man. He's a good offensive grappler, but he's not that great with his, jiu-jitsu. He's not that great with his top pressure is good, but he doesn't really do much with the grappling. His ground and pound leaves a little bit to be desired, especially of recently. Let's go back to some of these fights with him. You got getting KO'd by Malkoon that we just talked about, and he didn't look good in that first round. You have him getting KO'd by Michel Pereira in a minute. Split decision with Mearshot that I think he lost, honestly. Yes, he controlled Wellington Turman, Wellington Turman didn't show any ability to get back to his feet. He looked really bad in that fight, one of the worst that Wellington Turman made me think that he wasn't that good until all of a sudden Pereira goes in the gym and he starts picking up his style. Some undefeated record, and we know how sometimes that goes. Sometimes they fight tomato cans. So I don't think Petrosky's as good as everyone thinks he was gonna be. Going with Josh Fremd here, I think Josh Fremd also has. Let me go with this. I think he's better off his back than Petrosky, but I think he's worse on top. Pause. I think he is more athletic than Petrosky. He's not as jacked. He's not as muscular, but I think he's more athletic. I think he's faster. I like his low kicks. I like his striking. I can see this being one of those fights where Petrosky maybe gets a takedown once in a while, but Fremd is either able to get back up or Petrosky's not doing enough with it. Round one ends. It's possible it goes to Petrosky, but Fremd did better on the feet, so it's a coin flip. And then I think Fremd starts to run away with it in the later two rounds. I think Petrosky gets really tired. Big dude, a lot of muscles, really gasses out, really gets tired. And I think Josh Fremd can beat him up on the feet. I think Josh Fremd's going to win this fight 29-28 unanimous decision. I'm going with Josh Fremd, and I think he's going to win this by being better on the feet, landing good low kicks. His slow 1-2 is going to find the target of Petrosky, and I'm going to go with Josh Fremd to win this fight here. Luana Santos versus Maria Agapova. I'm going Luana Santos. I don't think Maria Agapova is good at all. Rumor has it she's got some problems with drug abuse and homelessness or so. It's something crazy. I don't know, dude. Guru said that all the Kazakhstani fans were messaging him saying, oh, you got to talk about Maria Agapova. She's going through extremely hard times. That's why I'm going to pick against her here. I don't think she's as good. I think Luana Santos is more marketable as well. Again, low-level women's MMA fight could go either way, but I'm going to go with Luana Santos. I think her training is more dialed in, and I think she's just the better fighter. And let's be real, she is hotter than Maria Agapova, and the UFC will be more likely to give her a robbery decision. So Luana Santos is going to win a boring decision on this one. Joshua Van versus Charles Johnson. I want to take Charles Johnson. He's taller, he's got the longer reach, he's more experienced. His defensive wrestling is really good. His offensive wrestling is also good. He can mix it up. But I'm going to go with Joshua Van. I think in the first round, you're going to see Charles Johnson land some good low kicks, land his pitter-pattery 1-2. Nothing with crazy power. Joshua Van has really good defense, though, but he is a slow starter. But as round 2 and 3 comes along, Joshua Van really picks it up with pace, pressure, speed, violence. His boxing combinations really dial in some of the better body shots, and I do think you can land body shots on Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson's hard to hit in the head. He's hard to take down, but I think Joshua Van's going to be able to mix it up very, very well. And I like Josh Van's performances. I mean, I get it. He's had some that have been good, but you think he should be knocking some of these guys out, but it's kind of hard to knock people out at flyweight. It really is. Like, it's not like he's fighting Matt Schnell here, dude. He's been fighting talented fighters. Felipe Bunez, who he knocked out in the second round. Kevin Borjas. Again, he got knocked out by Alessandro Costa, but that's because his leg got chewed. Borjas is also durable. Zhalga Zhumagulov. Never going to say that name right the first time. That was his UFC debut. And I thought he won the fight pretty clearly. They gave it a split because every fight with Zalgas goes to a split. But I thought Joshua Van did really well in that fight. Landed tremendous body shots and just picked up as it went on. Like the experience he's been having. Charles Johnson has had some really good fights recently. Good decision wins. But over Jake Hadley, who's trying to take him down. And Jake Hadley was kind of landing at points. And I think if Jake Hadley can land at points in the fight, Joshua Van's going to be able to tee off. I'm going Joshua Van to win 29-28 unanimous decision. So we get all decisions on the card so far. But I'm actually going to go with Jasmine Jasudavicius to get a round 2 TKO, ground and pound. I think Fatima Klein is not that good. I think she's just I mean, she has some grappling, but she never gets it done. You know what I mean? She never gets the submissions. She never gets the finishes. And I think Jasmine Jasudavicius has a little bit of violence to her. Yes, she's old, but I like that in women's MMA. The older fighters have more experience, are usually stronger, usually fight more violently. And I'm going to go with Jasmine Jasudavicius to win this fight by a round 2 TKO. I think that Fatima Klein's going to let her get the takedowns because she thinks she's going to have jiu-jitsu game. But I think Jasmine Jasudavicius is going to be hip to it and land her own good ground and pound, splitting open Fatima Klein and getting a round 2 TKO. So those are the prelims. Starting off the main card. Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage finds another way on a main card in UFC here in 2024. I'm going Al Hassan to win by knockout in round 1. I'm sorry, I'm going to go round 2. Because I think Brundage is going to have his little moments where he's getting like good work in on the clinch. But I think Al Hassan's going to separate, land good elbows, land really good low kicks, start beating up Cody Brundage. Round 2, Cody Brundage I think is going to quit. I think when he went in there with a good attitude against Bo Nickel, he knew he was going to lose, so he kind of just let it happen. He went in there with a different mindset. I don't think he's going to have that mindset with Al Hassan. I think there's serious danger in the hands and the feet of Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He's intimidating. He's fast. He's strong. It's someone that Cody Brundage probably thinks he could beat. But I think Abdul Razak Al Hassan is going to get it done. I think he's going to land a couple of low kicks that Cody Brundage is really not going to like. Brundage is going to go shoot for takedowns. He might even get one, but Al Hassan's going to get back up. There's going to be some clinch work done by Brundage, and Al Hassan's going to end up landing 1-2s, high kicks, low kicks. I think he's going to knock out Cody Brundage in round 2, and we're going to see Cody Brundage kind of fall with his back in the cage, take a couple follow-up shots, and the ref's just going to jump in. It's over. Cody doesn't want to fight anymore. I'm going with Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Round 2 knockout. Julian Erosa versus C-Rod. I don't know why. I feel like Erosa is going to get it done. Now, don't get me wrong. Christian Rodriguez is a much, much better fighter. I know this. He always finds a way to win. He's good at pushing the pace. He's good at pushing the pressure. But like his first 2 wins, he missed weight. And he fought good talent. He fought Raul Rosas, won the last 2 rounds. He fought Cameron Simon, won probably all 3 rounds. Maybe 2, but like good fight, good talent. Then he goes to fight Isaac Dulgarian, gets ragdolled for most of the fight, and wins. Did better on the feet, had more cardio. I get it, Dulgarian didn't do much on the ground, but at the end of the day, neither did Hamzat. And he got a 10-8. Dulgarian didn't. Dulgarian, I thought, is a good fighter, but I guess he just lost his gas. I don't think Julian Erosa is going to lose his gas against Christian Rodriguez here, and I think that's where you see Christian Rodriguez really start to pour it on. I think it's really difficult for Christian Rodriguez to fight someone that's 6 inches taller than him. Again, the reach is only 3 inches, but I think Erosa uses his kicks well, he uses his knees well, and I think he's going to struggle with Julian Erosa here. Now, I get it, Julian Erosa has no chin, but I don't think that Christian Rodriguez really has much knockout power. He has precision, which I'm scared about. He can find the chin. And he's a better fighter, I get it. But I think this is one of those fights that Christian Rodriguez doesn't get fraud checked, but has difficulty finding Julian Erosa and ends up losing a decision here because he can't get there in the first 2 rounds. I think Erosa is going to win the first 2 rounds here on points. Rodriguez is going to make it much closer and look good in the third, but I'm going to give it to Erosa 29-28 decision here. It's going to be a split because I think the UFC would rather push Christian Rodriguez than Julian Erosa, but I'm going to go with Julian Erosa to win this fight. I think he's going to get it done. I get it. It's not the logical pick. I get it. He's not as good as Christian Rodriguez and as talented, but I just got a weird feeling he's going to get it done. I'm going underdog here. I'm going Julian Erosa. Gabriel Bonfim versus Angelusa. Simple. I'm going Gabriel Bonfim. I like his explosivity. I like his chokes. Pause. I like his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I like his submissions. I think he's going to win this fight by blasting some low kicks and landing really explosive power shots. Angelusa is going to try and wing hooks, but I think Gabriel Bonfim's going to be able to get the takedown. I don't think he's going to choke out Angelusa, though. I think he's going to win with ground and pound in round one. I think he's going to land some good punches, land some good shots, and eventually get his takedown when Angelusa over swings, lands good ground and pound from them. I think he finds his way to get to the mount position really quickly, really fast. And I think he's going to get to the mount position, land ground and pound on Angelusa, elbows, punches from mount, and the fight's going to get called off. TKO, round one, Gabriel Bonfim. He's just levels above Angelusa to me. I don't think this is an overly difficult pick. Gene Silva versus Drew Dober. Now, I know the motivation for Drew Dober has slimmed significantly since the change of opponent, but do I go Gene Silva? He looked really good against Jordan. Featherweights have a ton of success coming up and winning at flyweight. Am I picking Drew Dober just because he has more experience and I don't know about Gene Silva yet? I know he's got power. I know he's talented. Now, if this were a fight that both guys were taking on full camps, I think I'd go Gene Silva. But Gene Silva fought 2 weeks ago. He fought on the last card, UFC 303, knocked out Charles Jourdain. They're fighting at altitude, and I think that Gene Silva is most likely to get tired. That's another thing I got to factor into these fights, the people that are going to get tired here. Angelusa and Gabriel Bonfim are both going to get tired. Arosa might get tired, but I actually think his cardio is pretty decent. I think Rodriguez is too. Al Hassan trains at altitude. No idea about these two girls' cardio. I think both these guys have good cardio. No idea about those two girls' cardio. Petrosky has shit cardio. Fremd is okay. Blackshear, I think, has got decent cardio, and so does Montel Jackson. I'm willing to bet that Drew Dober has better cardio than Gene Silva. I'm going to go with Drew Dober, and I think he's going to win this fight by round 3 TKO. I think you're just going to see round 2 KO. I think you're going to see Gene Silva get exhausted. He's going to try and finish this fight quickly. Drew Dober might get wobbled a couple of times, but he's going to stay in there, and he's going to win this fight by knockout. This fight is at elevation. Drew Dober, I trust with his cardio more than I trust Gene Silva. Yes, Drew Dober can get tired, but Gene Silva does get tired. And I'm going to go with Drew Dober to win by knockout over Gene Silva in this fight. I think he's going to land a right hand, jab, jab, 2. It's going to be a 1-1-2 right over the middle that wobbles Gene Silva. Gene Silva's going against the fence, going to start winging. Dober's going to block, body, head, and he's going to finish this fight by TKO in round 2. I'm going Drew Dober. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Muslim Salikov. Which of the old heads do you pick to win this fight? This is a fucking co-main event in 2024, and this is what I'm talking about, dude. Why is the UFC putting on shit fights like this? Like, granted, Dober versus Silva is pretty fun. Bonfim is a talented prospect. C-Rod has a name now, kind of, off of other people that he's beaten. No one cares about Al-Hassan and Brundage. Van and Johnson is a pretty good fight. And Petrosky, Damone Blackshear, Montel Jackson's a good fight, but everything else kind of sucks. Why do we have a 37 and a 40-year-old that aren't going to ever make the rankings again fighting in the co-main event of a card in front of a crowd? Now, before all the fucking hardcore wannabes go, oh, you're a casual, dude. You don't know about Ponzinibbio 5 years ago? You don't know about Muslim Salikov for the past 5 years? Dude, stop trying so hard to be a hardcore fan. We get it. You like the sport. We all like the sport. But we don't like when Dana White and the UFC take a dump on our sport by putting up shit cards. This is a shit card, guys. This is a shit fight. 2 37-year-olds fighting. Are we fucking serious? Like, are we fucking serious that we're watching 2 37-year-old or a 37 and a 40-year-old duke it out in the co-main event? What the fuck is this? I'm sick of this shit, dude. We got Taylor versus Perez. Then we had to wait for, we had a good card in Saudi. We had a good card on paper in 303. And then we get this. And then we get Jandro Dober versus Lemos next week. Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? I'm going Ponzinibbio. And I'm sick of all the people saying you're a casual if you don't like this fight, man. You guys are a casual if you don't remember when the UFC didn't put on fight nights that were electric. Top tier cards of the year were on fight nights, dude. Do you not remember that? The UFC used to put on fucking awesome fight nights. Now they're mailing it in for most of them. Unless they go to Saudi, unless they go to Abu Dhabi. It's bullshit, man. We're here in front of a crowd. And we got a shit fight night. Same thing happened in Atlantic City, shit fight night. What the fuck is going on with the UFC, man? Sick of it. Ponzinibbio to win by decision. I think his leg kicks are going to be better. I think he's going to plot forward better. Muslim Salikov might throw some weird spinning shit that looks cool, but he's not going to win the fight. I don't think Ponzi's getting knocked out, and I think he's going to win a decision 30-27. He might even get a late round finish. You know what? Round 3 TKO Ponzinibbio. Why the fuck not? And then main event. Another chick fight in the main event. When are you going to get it? When are you going to get it, Dana? This is not what we want to see. I guess I'm taking my shit break early in the card. Thug Rose versus Tracy Cortez. Dude, I get it. Everyone loved Rose Namajunas, and then she had a shit fight with Carla Esparza, and everyone turned on her. I get it. Warranted, but I get it. She's going to win this fight, though. 49-46 unanimous decision. I just don't think Tracy Cortez is better than Rose. I think Rose is going to be able to use her kicks better. I think she's going to be able to use her boxing. Tracy Cortez has decent boxing, and she's hot, so she might get a nod from one of the judges off of a robbery. But, yeah, Tracy Cortez is really, really hot. I get it. But Rose is a better fighter. This is not a main event-worthy fight. UFC is going woke. Disney's taking it over. I'm appalled that this is our main event, and we have no other ranked fighters on the card other than Rose Namajunas and Tracy Cortez, and we have ranked strawweights headlining. Sorry, ranked flyweights now. They were strawweights. Tracy Cortez, I think, is going up in weight to fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm annoyed. UFC Fight Night Denver predictions. Yeah, I'm picking Namajunas in the main event. This sucks, dude. Don't worry, get excited, because next week we got Jandradoba versus Lemos, boys. Fuck this. UFC mailed it in, yet again, in front of a crowd. Can't fucking believe it. Stupid. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. These next 2 prediction videos are going to be miserable. This and the following one. So, it's alright. It's just going to make UFC 304 in England that much better with a crowd that's dead because the card starts at, 3 a.m. England time? I don't get it, dude. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Fuck.